Hi there. Today on Shift Happens, bend reality with this one simple technique. I am your host, Vicki Lemper, and this is the Shift Happens channel, where we inspire growth and achieve greatness. If you're new to this channel and you want to awaken your power and create your future, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment. And if you would like to work together, all the info is below in the description box. So welcome back to the Shift Happens channel. We're going to learn how to bend reality with this one simple technique. Okay, so let's get into this. When you encounter a negative energy exchange, and this could be an argument with a coworker, a friend, a loved one, or people you may not even know. It could be a cashier or a clerk or someone that just comes up to you. It's an argument or a disagreement or an event that causes a disturbance, right? Negative emotion. A person that throws negative energy at us really causes that, brings out that negative piece in us, right? You can engage with this person in 3 different ways. It's called the RAT method. I mean, why not, right? What better way to remember the method by using an acronym that may represent a negative energy exchange. So a rat, I mean, the poor thing. I know they have their place in the ecosystem, but oftentimes it gets kind of a bad rap, that rat. And so we'll just go with this, right? Okay, so the 3 things for the rat: reflector, absorber, and transcender. So we're gonna take a look at each one of those, all right? So let's start with reflector. Someone says something wrong to you. You can meet their negative energy with more negative energy, all right? You reflect their negative energy with negative energy. And of course, this solves nothing. You say something mean. So they say something mean, and you say 2 more things that are mean to them, right? You're gonna meet their meanness and add to it. We often think this is a power move. You showed them type of stance. Too often as a society, we see this engagement as a badge of honor. After the exchange, we retell the story, and guess what? We revisit that negative energy again. You may even gain momentum, and your story may even get bigger and bigger. And the people you tell the story to will often add and encourage you to grow angrier and angrier and add to the story. The story gets bigger and bigger because we gain more momentum, right? And we're just bouncing off all that negative energy, and we're continuing that negative storyline. So when you're meeting anger with anger, there's no solution. When you throw negative comments towards someone, whether it's to their face or behind their back, who does it hurt first? You. It does not affect the other person you're angry with. It impacts you and your energy. And again, we are energy, and we have to protect and have boundaries when it comes to our energy. So number 2, the absorber. You keep quiet. You don't say anything, but you keep it inside. So when someone says something mean to you, you just absorb it and like, oh, yes, yes. When you keep it inside, you swirl that negative emotion within your head and your body, and you're not releasing that negative emotion. You're consuming it. Who does it hurt first? The person absorbing it, you. It does not help the person that throws the negative energy at you. They don't care. If you're absorbing it, they're going to keep doing it, right? You take that negative energy and you bottle it up inside. However, that only manifests in various forms. It often festers within you and it comes out sideways, right? At any time you hold negative emotions inside, they will eventually come out. Whether it manifests physically as a dis-ease or disease, or you may take it out on someone you don't even know, like a cashier or a waiter. You find yourself losing patience and begin to lash out at people, or you may take it out on family and friends. And this is often the case, especially with family members, because they are less likely to abandon you if you make them angry, right? This doesn't make it right, but we tend to hurt the ones we love. It's mixed up, but it happens, right? My point is, when you constantly absorb that negative energy, it will take a toll on your self-concept and your self-confidence. You begin to question yourself. You get in the habit of not sharing or communicating your ideas and your thoughts. You put other people's needs above yours. You become a servant for other people's well-being, and you lose your sense of self. I'll have more videos in the future on how to build that self-concept, because that is really key to manifesting, right? This is where it begins and ends with you and how you feel about yourself. If your self-worth is clear down here and you're absorbing everyone's negative energy, you're going to create stories that match that, right? And that deteriorates your whole self-concept, your self-worth, your confidence. It allows for other stories, and you start beginning to see the 3D world, or your circumstances, as everyone's against you, right? You just keep beating yourself down and down and down. So obviously the absorber is not exactly a healthy way to do this. So neither is the reflector. Like, you say something mean to me, I'm going to throw it back and say something mean to you. In fact, I'm going to see your meanness and add to that, right? And then we go and we bolster our self-worth in front of others and retell that story, which only gets us back into that form of revisiting that negative energy, that negative story. It builds, and then it does nothing to solve the issue, right? And absorbing does nothing to solve the issue, right? Because if people don't know, if you're not communicating and your self-worth is so low that you don't even feel confident to let people know your ideas, your thoughts, and your emotions, they don't know any different. So they're going to continue to do that. And so you're just going to absorb all that, and you're the doormat, right? People are going to rub their feet on that doormat and go, oh, well. So the reflector and the absorber, not ideal ways to deal with situations when you're involved in a negative situation, when you're engaged in an argument or a disagreement. All right. And I'm talking about like pretty negative type of exchange. All right. So what better way to do it than the T, transcend, right? You're going to transcend all that negative energy and transcend it into a positive story. So let's take a look at that. You're actually going to bend that energy. That negative energy comes to you. You're going to take it and go, oh, we're going to take this on a higher scale. And we're going to transcend that negative energy into a better feeling thought, into a better feeling story, your ideal outcome, right? When you transcend the negative energy, you are transcending the energy around you. So not only does it impact you, but others will feel that energy and begin to engage in that calm, peaceful state that you're in. Because when you transcend a negative thought or a negative energy or anything that, that's a disturbance, and you take it into the more, like again, there's two choices, love or fear. You can transcend that story into love and see it with more compassion and see it with more love and understanding, or you can go the fear-based way and go and reflect it and absorb it, right? So how do we do this? It seems simple, right? Well, in the moment, it just takes time and practice. So in the moment, you take a deep breath and you realize that this is their path, their story, their energy. You listen, let them know that you see that they are angry, and I heard what you're saying, and I believe we need to talk this out when we are both in a calm state. You can say that. You can absolutely sit there and listen to it. It seems like you're absorbing it. You're hearing it. You're listening. And not that you're calm, because at first, when you first start doing this, your state will still be angry, right? And it's natural and normal. When someone says something mean to you, you're going to be like, wait. And that's actually a good indicator that you have a healthy self-worth. Because when people are mean to you, it's not like you're like, oh, I get it. you're on a different path. That your first instinct is like, wait, what are you saying to me? That's not a nice thing to say, right? And but that's great because your emotions are your guiding system, right? So when you feel that anger, when you feel that piece of negative emotion, you just have to realize and say, okay, I'm feeling this. Take a deep breath and understand that that person is behaving according to their background, their pathway, their storyline. Okay? And again, let them know, I hear you. I see that you're angry. I'm also angry. But let's talk about this at a later time. Because again, we talk about this all the time. You never find your solutions when you're angry, right? When you're entangled in that negative emotion, you never find the solution. So, and finally, you accept the person as they are. So you understand them, you hear them, you take a deep breath and listen to them. And finally, you accept the person as they are. Again, this is their path. The minute you try to change them, you're going to be entangled even more into that attachment to a narrow expectation. You cannot change people. Everyone has their own agency and you have yours. You can only control your thoughts, words, and emotions. And this can take some time and practice to be able to stand there in that calm state. So acknowledge that they are upset, understand that they are on their own path and are behaving according to their emotional state and their past experiences, then accept them for who they are, as they are. Again, you can only control yourself, which means your thoughts, words, and emotions. These three things influence your energy. And when you transcend those negative thoughts and those negative stories, your behavior and energy will follow. It will be calm and compassionate. You will respond with compassion rather than reacting with fear. So once you intentionally practice this every day, it becomes much easier and more efficient. And you'll become more efficient at transcending that negative energy. Bend reality with this simple technique. I am your host, Vicki Lemper, and this is the Shift Happens channel, where we inspire growth and achieve greatness. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting on the videos. That's how we get our message out. With great love, peace, and joy, and infinite gratitude, this is Vicki Lemper, and this is the Shift Happens channel. I'll see you next time.